Hi everyone. So this week I've got a finished make to share with you, the unpair of pyjamas, and you'll also see me agonising over what I'm going to make for So Yellow 2022, and I'll share my final decision with you at the end of the video. And there's also a little bit of crochet thrown in. So this is a vlog style video this week, so I've come on two or three times I think over the course of the week and chatted to you about what I've been up to. So without further ado, welcome to this week's Friday Sews. Hi everyone. So it's Monday morning and I just wanted to pop on really quickly before I start work just to show you this, what I'm calling unpair of Tilly and the Buttons Juno pyjamas, because I want to pop all this in the wash because they've got chalk marks on them and things. And that's why I'm not wearing makeup, so I don't get makeup all over the pyjama top when I take it off. So apologies for the slightly more dishevelled appearance than usual. So originally what happened was that I made my aunt a pair of pyjamas in this fabric for Christmas, and the top fits her fine, but the bottom she felt was a bit too tight, so she's returned that to me, and that is it? No, it's not, it's this pair. These. And so I'm going to keep these, but I'm not wearing them because they are fractionally too big for me. So they're fine for sleeping in, but they're not completely my size. They're probably a little bit one size up, two sizes up, something like that. So I'm keeping those. So I've made myself a pyjama top to match those, and I've remade the bottoms for my aunt in a bit of a bigger size. But the other thing that we agreed we would do is I've adapted, can you see there, I've adapted the top so that I've created a channel and I've put two buttonholes in there to put a drawstring through, so that there's the drawstring which is going to go through, but I need to wash them first because I use the Wonderweb sticky hem stuff to make sure the fabric held in place while I cover stitched it, and that really needs to wash out before I put the drawstring in. So you can see it's all cover stitched on the inside. So in order to create the channel, I just extended the waistline up using the pattern from Tilly and the Buttons Love at First Stitch. So I just extended the pattern up in the same way as it is for this is the Margot pyjamas in here, these, which are actually for a woven fabric, but I just extended the waistline up a bit and then created buttonholes instead of just leaving a gap in the seam, and I did stabilise behind where the buttonholes are. I just put a little bit of the interfacing strips that you can get for putting on shoulders to stabilise shoulders of jersey fabric. So I just put a little bit of that on in order to just stabilise the area, and it worked brilliantly. So that's those. So what I'll do is, before I post them off to my aunt, I will take a photo of them with the drawstring in. So that's the legs. And the top, I'll just show you. The whole thing is made in this beautiful cotton jersey fabric from Jelly Fabrics, and the ribbon comes from there as well, so which picks out the little yellow stars. And this is a Madagascar license print. It also comes in a navy. I don't know whether they have this colourway anymore. So the navy one I quite like, but I was with my mum when we picked the fabric for my aunt, and she said she thought my aunt would prefer the lighter one, so that's why we've got the lighter one. So for me, I have made a So this garment starts at a size 1, which is a 30-inch bust, and it goes waist 24, hips 33, and it goes up to a size 10, which is bust 48, waist 42, and hips 51. And what I did on the top this time is I made a size 3 on the bust, which is for a 35.5-inch bust, and I widened it out, I think, to a size 5 by the hip, just to give me a bit more room. I think the last time I had it a bit narrower, so I've just made it a little bit wider, and it's much more, I think, comfortable, better fitting than the last one. And the other thing I did was, I think I'll try and pop a photo of my other Tilly Juno top here, but the cuffs on it are really long. So what I did this time was I took 5 centimetres off the cuff, and I added it into the length of the sleeve, so the cuffs are actually a bit shorter. And they're still quite long, I still think they're fine, but I just feel happier with it that way. So that's the only amendments I made to the top. So that's that really. So I'm going to go and put all this lot in the wash, and then hopefully I can get the legs ironed up, get the drawstring in, take a picture and send them off to my aunt. So I'm going to go off and work today. As I say, I'm working from home, but hopefully I'll get a chance to do something sewing related later. So I'll pop back on and show you what I'm wearing and what I'm going to get up to sewing wise this evening. So I'll see you later. Bye for now. Hi everyone. Well, I said I might come back last night and show you some sewing activity, but in actual fact I didn't finish work until quite late, so I actually didn't sew in the end. I had some dinner and then just went out for a walk with my husband in the pouring rain because I was just desperate to get out and get some fresh air. So life got in the way. Did do a little bit of crochet, but I didn't get a chance to get into the sewing room at all. So it's now Tuesday night, and it's actually about the same time as I stopped work last night, but I have had a little bit of a break since I stopped work, and I've been rummaging about in the sewing room, and so I thought I'd just pop on and have a chat. So what I'm wearing, I am wearing Me Made, but as you can see, it's not something sewn. This is a top that I made, before we moved to Wales, I think, so probably about 5 years ago. And this is a crochet. It's done in a herringbone stitch, those of you who crochet. And it's called My Favourite Sweater. And it's by a designer called KT. That's the letters KT and the squid, and I'll pop the details down below. But I really, really love it because it's so warm and cosy, and I wear it a lot. And I've just got it on with ready-to-wear tracksuit bottoms, just for something to sit comfortably in while I'm messing about in the sewing room. So that's what I'm wearing, and it's knitted, I think, probably just out of acrylic wool, and it's definitely seen better days. It's going a bit bobbly, but it really is my favourite sweater. The only thing that I wouldn't do again is to put these toggles on, because frankly they just get in the way and annoy me, and I spend an awful lot of time doing what I'm going to do now, which is sticking them down the front of the sweater so they don't get in the way. So I'm not going to bother with that. And the reason I've got such clear plans is because I am crocheting it again. And you might remember in my last week's Friday sews when I showed you the pink boucle, and I said, I'm knitting something in this same colour. Well, I'm not, and you'd think I'd know the difference by now, because I'm actually crocheting, but never mind. So this is the pink. The actual garment in progress is downstairs and I'm upstairs, so I haven't got it next to me at the moment, but I might show you a bit later in the week if I've made progress. I've done quite well. I'm getting there. I'm probably about halfway down the body. It's knitted, crocheted, top down, and then you just put the neck on after. So that's the pink. Actually, I don't think it's too bad next to my face, to be honest. But what I could do is, so the idea is the pink would be where the purple is on here, and then this kind of lilac, it looks really grey in this light, but it's not, it's actually a kind of lilac-y colour, would go on the cuffs. But what I could do is actually put that on the neck as well, so I could do that. But what I'm minded to do, as I say, is I'm going to miss the toggles off, and I'll probably extend this down a bit and try and get it to turn into a bit more of a sort of bigger collar, because I had absolutely masses of this wool. In fact, I had masses of all of it, I think, left last time. So yes, so the wool I've got is a James C. Brett Aaron Aztec, and it's supposedly, it's acrylic with 10% alpaca, and it's machine washable, and it feels beautiful. It really feels really soft, but it's really annoying to crochet with because it strands a lot. So it's fine, but you just have to really pay attention. So if you're watching TV and going merrily along, and then you suddenly discover that you've missed strands and you've got little loops, so it's a bit annoying. So I'll keep you informed with progress on that. I've also got a finished crochet make to show you, but I need to sew a label in the back because I really can't tell which is the back and which is the front, which is the right side and which is the wrong side. So I've got a safety pin sitting in the wrong side of the back at the moment. I'm going to sew a label in because I really can't walk around with a safety pin in it all the time. It would just look ridiculous. So yeah, I'm going to finish that, and then I'll try and bring that on to show you in the next week or so. So as you've gathered from this, that's why I've called myself the Carpe Diem Stitcher, because although fundamentally my channel will be mostly about sewing, because I produce garments generally a bit quicker when I sew them than when I knit them, and I'll show you what I'm knitting as well. I do also crochet and knit, and so I thought it would be good to show all of them on here. What I'd be interested to know, and please pop your comments down below, is if I decide to talk in any detail about knitting and crochet, would you prefer that as a separate video, so that if you see that come up on the thumbnail you just go, no, I'm not interested in that, and you just don't watch that video? Or would you like it mixed in, so I just maybe talk about knitting and crochet at the end of my Friday sews, and if you don't want to watch that bit you just switch off? Let me know. I thought at some point I might go through and show you some of my knitting and crochet makes, because obviously you haven't seen any of them, so I thought that might be interesting. So that's what I've been up to on the crochet front. The other thing I didn't mention yesterday, because obviously I was in a mad rush before I went off and did my work and remembered to get changed, so I didn't go online in a pyjama top, because that would have been slightly embarrassing, is I bought Burda style on Sunday locally to me. Just got it from the local WH Smith. I'm sure other magazine retailers are available. So I got that, so I'm going to have a look through that at some point. I bought the previous months as well. I've not made anything out of them yet, but I do think some of the patterns in there look quite nice, so I thought I'd give it a go. I know it's supposed to be a bit of a nightmare with the tracing, but anyway, we'll see. But I thought it's worth at least trying it. Got to try it, haven't you? So that's kind of the sort of in the news bit. What am I planning to do for the rest of the week? Well, you might remember this fabric, which was the fabric that I've bought to do the Sew Yellow for Endo challenge, which is run by Jess at So What If I Sew. And because today's the 1st of March, it's the first day of the challenge, so I want to start working on this, get it get it cut out and get it sewn up into something. It still needs ironing, as you can probably see, but I brought it out just to remind you which fabric it is. I know I showed it a couple of weeks ago, but if you've not seen that video. The only thing is, what I was thinking of doing was hacking 2 patterns together, but I'm not sure. This is cotton jersey, and I'm not sure it's drapey enough for what I had in mind. It's one of those ones where it kind of feels drapey, but it's probably not that drapey compared to other fabrics. I've had other fabrics out my stash, which is in a cupboard of semi-doom, to quote Ruan from the Yorkshire Sew Girl. If you haven't seen her video, her latest video about organising her stash, go and have a look, because she talks about the cupboard of doom, and I know how she feels. But I've gotten other fabrics out of there that are definitely drapier than this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a little look on Instagram at the two patterns that I was thinking of mixing, particularly the neckline on one of them, and see what I think and see what other fabrics people have used, and then I'll make a decision. But it might be that I end up picking something else. I think if this hadn't been for the challenge, I might have just risked it, but because this is, you know, the Sew Yellow for Endo 22 challenge, and because this is important to Jess, I really want to make something that's going to look nice. So I'm not going to risk it. I want to make something that's going to look good for the challenge. So that's one thing. So I have got my, in case I need an alternative, I've got my, if I just turn the camera around, that is full of paper patterns, and I've also got some PDF patterns. I've got some in the corner that are printed out there, and I've got some down under my desk which are folded, and then I've got some which are just downloaded but I haven't printed them yet. So I might spend some time having another think about what I can do for that, and whether I need to send anything off to the printer. Hopefully not. Hopefully I'll find something that I've already got. So that's one of the jobs for tonight and possibly tomorrow night, to make my mind up about what I'm going to do. And my other job is to decide what I'm going to do for Sew Frugal 22. So I'm pretty much decided on one of them. If I get a chance, I might do more than one. So I'm pretty much decided on one of them, and I do have the printout of that pattern. So what I'll probably do now is pop on a couple of YouTube videos, catch up on Sew Frugal 22 on the vloggers, and sit and cut out that pattern. I might need to grade it out actually. So I might do that and then sit and cut it out. So that's going to be me for this evening. Hopefully I'll get a chance to come on and talk to you again tomorrow. So I hope you're all getting a chance to do some sewing. And yeah, have a lovely evening. Happy Tuesday. Oh, and it's Pancake Day. Not that I realised, I had a friend who said, I'm going to go and make some pancakes now. And I went, oh, that's nice. And then someone else said, are you having pancakes tonight? And it was only then I clocked it. So, yes, so I don't know. I don't think we are having pancakes, but I might see if I can persuade my husband to make some. We'll see. Right, anyway, I shall disappear and let you get on a bit more with your Friday nights, although there will be other bits. And I'll see you in the next bit. Hi everyone. So it's now Friday night, 4th of March, and it is about 7:15 in the evening. And as you might gather by the fact that it's quite late and it's not Wednesday night or Thursday night, I've actually been really quite busy this week and not had time to vlog again. However, I have made a final decision about what I'm going to make for Jess So What If I Sew's challenge, which is Sew Yellow for Endo 2022, which has now kicked off in earnest on her YouTube channel and also on her Instagram account. She's doing lives to raise awareness of endometriosis, both from the perspective of sufferers and also from a medical perspective. So do go and have a look at all these great resources she's producing. I think it's really important that we do raise awareness of this, and so I'm really happy to take part in the challenge. So you might recall that earlier in the week I said I was going to go off and have a look through my patterns and try and decide what I was going to make, because my original thought I didn't think would work out. So I've had a little think about it and had another think about the amount of stretch there is in my fabric, which is the, it's here. Of course, it seems ages since I showed it to you, but it's actually for you about 2 minutes. But anyway, so it's this one, the kind of leopard print with neon highlights cotton jersey that I got from Dalston Mill Fabrics. And I've had a little think, and it's got probably 25% stretch in it, maybe not much more. So I've decided that what I'm going to make with it is this. So this is the Nina Lee Southbank sweater, and it comes in 3 different variations. And in fact, you'll see that Olivia is modelling, she's actually modelling the dress version, and I made this. This was my last ever make of 2021, and I made the dress version. So I've popped it on her, and since I've now discovered, having been doing this for a whole 4 or 5 weeks, that I can actually take a photograph of it and pan down the shot so you can actually see it. So I won't stand up and start moving her around, but it's made in this really pretty, I think, tie-dye Ponte Roma, and it actually comes from a shop called Remnant Kings, which is in Edinburgh, or was in Edinburgh rather. So I went up there for a conference about, well, it was pre-pandemic, so probably 2019, summer 2019, and I had a bit of time before I flew back down to England from Scotland, and so I went on this journey across Edinburgh, which I don't know at all, on various buses, and found Remnant Kings because I'd seen this fabric online. So I managed to get it and come back with it. So that was my souvenir from Edinburgh. Really sadly, the shop's closed down, so there's no point in me trying to link to it, but it went under in the pandemic, which is a real shame because it was a lovely shop. It kind of had furnishings and stuff, I think, on the ground floor, and then the fabric bit was upstairs, but they were really, really helpful. And I was pretty new to sewing at the time and really didn't have that much of a clue. So yeah, it's a real shame that it's gone. So then the fabric sat in my stash for ages, and I didn't make, as quite often happens, I didn't make the dress that I'd earmarked to make it in. And I made this instead, and I'm really pleased with it. So the pattern, I've got the hard copy pattern, but Nina Lee, as you might have heard from other vloggers, or if you've just looked online, now only is doing PDF patterns going forward. So you can still get the pattern, but you just can't get a paper copy. You have to get it in PDF and download it. So this goes from a bust size of 32 inches 81 centimetres, waist of 24 inches 61 centimetres, and hip of 33.5 inches 85 centimetres, up to a size 20, so that was a size 6. It goes up to a size 20, which is bust 46 inches 116 centimetres, waist 38 inches 96 centimetres, and hip 47.5 inches 120 centimetres. What I don't know is whether the PDF versions of this will be more size inclusive or not, because I, as I say, I've got the paper pattern. So I'm not going to make the dress this time. I'm going to make, if you hopefully can see by the line drawings, there's 3 versions, and I'm going to make the middle length a kind of semi-long tunic, I guess hip length. So I've already got the dress version traced out, and I did mark on it where the tunic length came to, so it should be fairly easy for me because I'm not going to have to retrace the pattern. So what I did last time was I made the size 10 on the bust, so that was to fit bust 36, and then I graded out to a 12, which is waist 30 inches on the waist, and 14 at the hip, which is 41.5 inches, and it's absolutely fine on me. I think the only changes I might make are I might shorten the neckband a little bit, because once it's actually on me it kind of comes right up there. And so I might just take you know, an inch off, a couple of inches off, just to try and make it sit a little bit lower, because otherwise I feel a little bit like I have to fold it down. And I need to try this on again before I cut it out, but I think the sleeves were fractionally too long, so I might take, say, half an inch out of the sleeves, something like that. But other than that, it should be fairly easy, and as I say, I've got the pattern traced out, so I don't have to start doing that, so I think that will be Hopefully a relatively simple and easy make. If I have a bit of fabric left, then I might try to get something else out of it, but that's going to be my main make. And I wasn't entirely sure whether I was going to tell you up front, but I've noticed that other vloggers are saying what they're making, so it's not quite so much of a secret as it is with So Frugal 22, where I have decided what I'm making. Certainly for my main make, if I get another one done in the month, great, but I have decided, but I'm not going to tell you. But while we're talking about decisions for So Frugal 2022, I really wanted to say a huge thank you to everyone who commented on this video, and also people who've liked and subscribed. I've had a really nice steady flow of subscribers and some lovely comments and helpful suggestions about what I might do, and which of the options that you liked. And I'm really grateful. I've been really thrilled to get all the feedback and engagement that I have so early in my YouTube career. So thanks to everybody who's come on and had a chat, and hopefully you'll see that I do try to reply to everybody. So please do come on and have a chat. I'd love to know what you think about things. The other thing I just wanted to mention briefly is that when I finished my last section, I said, and I'll see you in the next bit. And I realised that I'd done that because I watch a YouTuber called Claire who makes things, who does do some dressmaking, but she does a whole load of different arts and crafts, and she does a lot of crochet, and she does a lot of knitting, and she knits, excuse me, a huge variety of things. So she knits things like sweaters for, she's got a whole batch of Harry Potter dolls, and I'll put a link to her down below. But she does these vlog style videos where she comes on and chats during the week, and then she always says goodbye and I'll see you in the next bit. So apologies to Claire for stealing her strapline. So I've got one final thing, or two sorts of final things to chat to you about. So earlier in my video, I think in the last little clip that I did, I was talking to you, I was wearing my favourite sweater from Katie and the Squid, and I said I would show you my next one that I've started making. So this is it. So it's in that pale pink wool that I showed you about, and you'll see that I've actually got, I have done a little bit more since I was online last videoing. So yes, I've done a little bit more. So I think I've done about 20 of the 30 rows of length since the armhole. It's not rows, it's rounds, because it's crocheted in the round. So yes, I've probably got about another 3-4 inches to go, and then I'll see what I think about the length. And then I've got to put the sleeves on and the neck and crochet rib on the bottom. So that's that I said I would show you my progress. And I also said that I had a completed crochet make to show you, and it's this. And this is, have I got the right pattern out? No, I haven't, but I can remember anyway. This is called the Donna Cowell sweater, and I will put the name of the maker on the screen, the pattern designer, because I can't actually remember that. And earlier on in the video I said I'm going to sew a label in it, and I need to work out which is the right side and which is the wrong side. I still haven't sewn a label in it, but I am wearing it with the right side out. So I will just stand up and show you. So it's designed to have negative ease, and if I go back a bit further without knocking everything over, you can see possibly, let me move the camera back, tilt it down so you can see, it goes to hip length. So it's quite figure hugging, and it's just got this little cowl on it, and kind of 3/4, just past the elbow length sleeves. So I really like it. I'm really pleased with it. I haven't actually worn it anywhere yet. It's been sitting in my crochet bag waiting to have this label put on it. So I'm really pleased with it. It took a long time. So I actually started crocheting it probably a couple of years ago, got it wrong, pulled it out, and then redid it mostly kind of over the autumn of 2020 and early 2021, and just then never really kind of quite got round to finishing it because I don't like sewing up, and I think it sat a while while I sewed. I had to sew in the sleeves, and that I'm just not that much of a fan of sewing up, so that's why it sat there. And the reason it took ages as well is because it's 4-ply wool, so it's really, you know, obviously for those of you who crochet, you'll know it's quite thin, so it does take quite a long time. But I'm really pleased with it, and I think I'll get a lot of wear out of it, probably in a couple of months when it's a little bit warmer, because it feels quite warm on, but I think because it's got short sleeves and because it's really a bit too chunky, I think, for me personally to want to put a cardigan over it. So I think, yes, probably come late April, early May, I'll be getting more wear out of it. So that's my crochet make, and that's really it for this week's Friday Sews, because I'd like to get this edited and get this out while it is actually still Friday. So that's what I'm going to go off and do now. So my plans for this weekend are to try to get my 2 patterns cut out, and I might cut out 1 or 2 other bits while I've got my sewing machine not on the desk, so while it's out of the way. Might try and cut out a couple of other makes, and I'd quite like to start sewing up my hack of 2 shirts, which I talked about in my first sewing plans video. So I've amalgamated 2 shirts. So I've got the sleeve from one shirt and the body from another. So I'd quite like to get on and start sewing that. I quite fancy that for something a bit more technical over the weekend. So that's going to be me for the week. Thank you ever so much for listening. As ever, thank you for engaging with me in the comments. Do feel free to come and have a chat. And if you'd like to hear more from me, then do please like and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye for now.